What's up YouTube? It is Johnny Tsunami and I'm here with another video. I am trying my best to be consistent here on YouTube, so I wanted to make another video talking about how I quit my job. Now in my last vlog, I did kind of mention a little bit about how I quit my job, and in this vlog, I just want to talk to y'all and just share what's been going on these last few weeks and why I quit my job and some of the things I've been thinking about. I'm not gonna lie y'all, I have been thinking so much inside of my apartment here over the last like 3 or 4 weeks that I've been unemployed, or kind of unemployed. I don't have a day job, but I'm still a travel agent. I still make content on the side. But nonetheless, I don't have a day job. So for the last like three and a half, 4 weeks, I've just been sitting at home and doing a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm not talking about like just being lazy and like sleeping and stuff. I've been doing so much, but let's talk about what I've been doing. So for those of you who didn't know, I worked at many a place in my life. But when it comes to fast food, the main place I have worked at my entire life has been Wendy's. I started working at Wendy's in January of 2015. So literally 10 years ago, y'all. And Wendy's, it's been on and off for years. I worked at Wendy's locally, like where I live, and I worked at my Wendy's in my college town. Wendy's. Literally, y'all, like it's always been a thing. And I will say this, one, working for Wendy's is not easy. Now, working for fast food is not, obviously it's not rocket science. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it is hard work in the sense of it is tedious. It's hard on your feet. It's long hours, etc., etc. But Wendy's, it can really weigh down on you. It really, and especially Wendy's, y'all love to raise them prices, but y'all don't love to raise those wages. I don't know what's going on, but whenever I started to notice, like in 2023, 2022, when I would post videos on TikTok and I would have people asking like what I did for work and stuff like that, and I would tell them like I work fast food or whatever, or I would tell them like I work like a regular minimum wage job, and they would either be so surprised or they would be like a little judgmental. And how do I say this? You should never feel ashamed about making money, especially if you're making honest money, especially nowadays, currently in the year 2025 in the United States of America. However, as somebody who, comes from a family that has an educational background, as somebody who went to college and was working very, very hard in college, and, the pandemic hit and it was a lot on me, right? And I took a break. But as somebody who just had so many expectations for themselves, and someone who had expectations from other people, when you go and work an everyday job that anyone can have, it's not surprising that other people are going to judge you for it, or that you may feel some type of way about it for yourself, because you want more, and other people also want more for yourself. Sometimes you do have people who judge you for it straight up, but then other times it's really about people knowing your potential and knowing that you can do just more. And I had so many people over the last few years tell me, hey Johnny, like I know you're trying to make money, but like I just feel like you could be doing this and the third. And it used to really tick me off, and it really is like time and place and who it is and how, it's not what you say, it's how you say it sometimes. But I will say this, I think a lot of times in the past, I would misinterpret that as people like coming at me or being disrespectful or being the type of person that was like judging me, when in reality, they weren't judging me. They were just saying, hey, like Johnny, like my friend Deandra, like I love her so much. She literally, we've done so much like community organizing work together. We helped put together the first ever Juneteenth celebration for the city of Oneonta in upstate New York. And, she had asked me, she's like, what do you, what's going on? Like, I feel like you could be doing so much more. And it's not because she was judging me, because obviously you need to make money. It was her pretty much saying like, yo, like you're my friend and I know that you can do great things. I've seen you do great things. Why aren't you doing those things? And even outside of just, wanting to do more, the job itself was weighing down on me so much, y'all. Like weighing down on my mental health, on my physical health. And unless you literally want to move up in fast food or any type of like basic job, there's no point of putting your all in it. I'm sorry. Like, yes, you should do a good job. Obviously, you're working for a business. You should do a good job for yourself. But what I'm trying to say is that if you're someone like me who wants to have a whole separate career, you know exactly what you want to do, there is no point of wasting your time at a job that is literally not going to advance you or get you anywhere near the career you want to be. How is fast food going to get me involved in the film world? Now, I can make a movie about fast food, which is something I'm working on, but obviously it's highly unlikely that Steven Spielberg is going to be my manager and is going to want to work on a film together. Y'all get what I'm saying? And so when you're working a job, especially under, this is kind of part of capitalism, but I'm not an economist, so I don't want to speak too much on that. But when you're working these basic jobs, right? And you're working these long hours and you're trying to save up and then but you're also trying to go on a trip, but you're also trying to, make ends meet, but you're also trying to do this and the third. But then on top of that, you're not living within your purpose or within what you feel like really fills your soul. It's going to wear down on you. And that's where I was getting. And literally over the last, I already knew in January, y'all, that I was going to quit. But over the last 3 months or so, I would say maybe around March, especially like March, I was like, okay, I need to get out of here soon. Because if I don't, I kind of hate using this term, but I'm going to crash out. Like literally, I was like, I'm going to crash out. Like I'm going to bug out. It's either going to be on a staff member or it's going to be on a customer. I don't know, but I need to get out of here. And I'm so glad that I did, because looking back now, and hopefully this can help some people out there. I'm not trying to say just quit your job, especially if you don't have any money in the bank. But looking back now that it's been a month, I like if I would have kept my job and stayed stuck, if I would have kept my job and allowed my anxiety and my fear of the future to hold me back, I would have been working at that job still. Yeah, I would have had a job, would have had money, but I wouldn't have been doing anything in life, y'all. I wouldn't have been progressing. I quit my job and I literally started to drive. Boom. I quit my job and started organizing things in my life. I quit my job and started reaching out to more brands. I quit my job and started focusing a little bit more on my health. I quit my job and started eating better. And obviously that has a lot to do with having more free time, but it's not simply about having the free time, because again, y'all, I had vacation weeks. You can take time off. It's about the fact that I knew I was no longer attached to this space that literally caused me so much stress. And so now the fact that I knew, okay, I don't have to go there anymore, it made it a lot easier for me to literally be in my own apartment and to work on what I really wanted to work on, versus sitting here stressed like, oh, I got to go close that store tomorrow. And I want to make it very clear, y'all, that I'm thankful for employment, but the idea that I was ungrateful for like even having the thought of quitting my fast food job that I never intended to like become a career was something that was literally holding me back from quitting. Because there's like this fear of, oh my gosh, what if I quit my job and something happens and I don't have any money, right? But then there's also this fear that happens when you get stuck in places or in situations or situationships, for some of y'all, no tea, no shade, and you somewhat forget who you are. And it's like you start to regress and you start to get smaller and smaller and smaller. The person who moved back to Long Island in 2022 was not the person I was in like mid 2023 and mid 2024. Definitely not 2024. That was not a good year for me, y'all. Oh my gosh. But glory be to God, I made it through. Shout out to the ancestors. We here in 2025. And so that's exactly what happened to me, y'all. I got caught up because I wasn't being strict on myself and my goals and my plans. And like coming in to like 2022, I was going to a lot of events, doing a lot of things, right? And then eventually I did have some things happen. And eventually like my dad passed away and things like that, and that complicated things, right? But had I kept being consistent on myself and saying, okay, this is the goal, this is what I got to do this time, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I probably could have been a way bigger content creator. I probably could have been doing something else. But unfortunately, I was not being strict on myself, and because of that, I got caught up at a fast food job looking stupid, like working next to 17-year-olds who don't even know how to count. Literally, for real, 17-year-olds who don't even know how to count. My anxiety and my overthinking are one of the things that have held me back the most in recent years. And it is something that has taken me years to get back on top of. And it is so hard, like having mental health struggles or having life struggles, like people can dress it up and be all cutesy as they want on social media. This shit's hard, okay? And I'm so sorry if my video gets demonetized. I don't even think I get monetized on YouTube anyway. But it's hard. It's really freaking hard. And especially in today's, social media, 60-second vlog, 30-second vlog type of lifestyle, it is very easy to get caught up in comparisons on how other people are doing things. And then that gets you even more caught up, because instead of just trying to do the thing, you end up trying to do it perfectly or trying to do it in the way that they're doing it. And it sets you back even further. I am at a point now where on one hand, it's like, okay, yes, I'm still a young person. And I know some people consider your late 20s to be so old because you're pushing 30 anyway. But I'm still a young person. I understand I still have time, right? I'm at a point where I feel like I am too damn grown to be so fearful of certain things that are quite literally so normal. Like, even going back to something I spoke about at the beginning of the video, like talking about working fast food on social media, who gives a damn? Like, who really gives a damn? Like, okay, I worked at fast food. Most of the time, every time someone tries to clown at me for working fast food, it is always someone who is unaware of other things I have accomplished in life, and they tend to also be way less accomplished than me. So someone may be like, oh, ha, 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 you worked in fast food. They're not doing anything special with their life, let alone traveling while working in fast food, while making content, while trying to do something. And as someone who's a Virgo, as someone with ADHD, I hate uncertainty. I hate not having a clear-cut path ahead of me, right? But I'm at that point again, y'all, where I'm too grown to be scared of certain things that are normal holding me back. If it's going to be uncertain, let it be uncertain. I'm going to try to make it happen anyway. Listen, if I end up being 35 and certain things going to happen for me, I'm not even a foot into the film world or whatever, maybe I'll rethink. But for now, let me try. And quitting that funky ass job was the start of it. And I'm happy. I'm very happy for myself. Even being able to make this vlog, y'all, is like a blessing, and I'm so grateful for it, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. If I was still working at Wendy's, I would not probably be making this vlog. Even the vlogs I made the other weeks, I was only able to edit those vlogs because I quit my job. Before I wrap up the video, because I'm sorry, I know this is a little jumbled, but I'm trying to vlog more so I can get comfortable with speaking on camera again. I don't know why I don't feel as comfortable speaking on camera as I used to. But you shouldn't compare yourself to other people. But if there's one thing that I know will light a fire under my ass, it's when I see other people achieving things that I know are within my reach, and the only thing stopping me from achieving those things is just myself. You know, it's like my girl Emily, and Emily, if you watch this, which I don't even think she subscribes to me, but Emily, if you watch this, shout out to you, girl. My friend Emily, right? I think maybe last year she posted about getting her driver's license, because for years we would joke about how, you know, we're grown adults who don't have our driver's license, right? She eventually went and got it. The moment she went and got her driver's license, I was like, all right, like, I got to stop fooling around. And again, yes, people do things at different times. They do things at their own pace. But for me right now, I'm hungry. I want, like, it's not just a matter of I want to be successful. It's when am I going to be successful? But I cannot be successful if I don't put the work in. And the first step of me putting in the work to get to where I need to be was quitting that job. Goodbye, Wendy's. But once again, y'all, I really am proud of myself for just quitting this job. But y'all, I'm really proud of myself for quitting this job. I know it's not like it's the hardest thing in the world to do, but sometimes, again, when you get stuck in things, you just can prolong the inevitable. But I just want to say thank you to all my followers and all of my friends for supporting me over the last few weeks, especially y'all on TikTok. Y'all have been amazing. I cannot wait to continue vlogging and to continue taking y'all on my adventures. And I just really, really want to continue making 2025 an amazing year, because at the beginning of this year, I told myself this is going to be my year, and I'm not going to give up on myself. If there's one thing I refuse to do is give up on myself. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Love you.